I think that there should be a Princess and the Frog ride at Disney World. Why? Because it's one of my favorite Disney movies, and I find it odd that the characters from the movie appear in live shows, but they don't have a ride. My idea for the ride is that it should take you through several moments featured in the film, such as the Bayou. Also, here's another great ride idea. Spider-Man. They should have a Spider-Man ride. And it's like that gigantic spinny ride at Crystal Palace, except you're swinging from Spider-Man's webbing, and he's on the top of that thing. Who is the Rhino from Wreck-It Ralph? Is he an original character created by Disney, or is he from a certain video game? Because if he's from a video game, I have no idea what it's called. The best part about paper straws is that they're good for the environment. The worst part about paper straws, the more you put your mouth on it to drink your beverage, it gets soggier. Hey Keone, I've got a problem. It involves my apartment. What did I tell you the last time this happened? Huh? What did I tell you the last time? Make money. I've only had my apartment for a few days and I don't, Just because I'm brown doesn't mean Tika can just flush me down the toilet like that. I think there should be a Robonic Stooges movie. Maybe it can be the second film in Hanna-Barbera's combined universe trilogy. Because the first one in the series was Scoob, which had the Blue Falcon and Dynamite and Dick Dastardly from Wacky Races. I do not know why, but, if they're gonna do that, at least acknowledge the cartoons that nobody talks about. How about Scooby-Doo meets Goober and the Ghost Chasers? Wouldn't that be hilarious? They can also meet the Partridge Family and Josie and the Pussycats and the Clue Club and the Robonic Stooges. You're here, there's nothing in it, and I know the hot dogs go on! I thought Marth was a strange name, but then I actually realized it was the male form of Martha, and then I realized it was quite normal, just uncommon.
Is there anything inherently offensive about Daniel Powter?
This song was covered by Alvin and the Chipmunks. Both that and the original version sound pretty good. And I don't know what's wrong with this song. I'd use it in one of my film soundtracks if I make one. Definitely live action comedy starring yours truly. Would you like to see that? I would.
2005 hit, Bad Day? Well, not really, but it's the song's relentless blandness that makes us question the chart's validity. Specifically, it's how Bad Day seems to have been tailor-made to be used in advertising that makes it so forgettable and vanilla.
It's not a song I'd picture in an advertisement at all. A song I'd picture in an advertisement, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. Why? Because it was actually used in an Apple commercial. I heard it in, some Apple commercials. That's a song I'd hear in a commercial. Bad Day is a song you'd hear on movies. That song is movie-worthy. Another song that's movie-worthy, So What by Pink. But that's just my opinion, of course.
It appeared in a French Coca-Cola ad months before it was released, and it has carried on its commercial legacy in the years since.
Was the song in French or English? I wonder how they felt.
All in all, it's a telling sign that Bad Day is the sort of faceless pop music which is better served as
It's not faceless. In my opinion, Fancy by Iggy Azalea. Actually, a lot of Iggy's music is, I would say it's much worse than Bad Day. And Staying Alive. And Club Can't Handle Me Right Now. Those are very good songs. And You Spin Me Right Round and Right Round by Flo Rida. And TikTok by Kesha. Who can like that song? Oh, and Gwen Stefani. The tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. That's a different song. It's called What You're Waiting For, but it's still funny. Wait! I love this song! I like London Bridge by Fergie. I like Fergie. Without Fergie, the Black Eyed Peas are just a generic rap group. And when is Masters of the Sun Volume 2 coming out? You can't have a Volume 1 or a Part 1 without a Volume 2 or a Part 2. The same goes for Flo Rida's album, Only One Flow Part 1. Where's Only One Flow Part 2? He didn't make it.
Number 3, Laffy Taffy. Number 2.
At first, I misread Rick Dees as Rick Ross. Why was I thinking about that? Rick Ross didn't rap in the 70s, and he certainly didn't do duck songs. I don't know why I didn't predict them. The Chipmunks. But can we at least say that Simon is the best out of 3? I mean, he might be nerd stereotype, but at the same time, compare him to Alvin, the annoying cool guy, and Theodore, the fat, chubby, cute guy who likes eating food. And the fact that Simon has a deeper voice than them. Can we at least say Simon is the best member? In 1981, the US launched the first real space movie. It was named Columbia and was piloted by 2 brave Willoughbys. They had practiced turd twisting for 2 years and were expert bugs. Columbia took off from Manchester using its powerful first stage spinning and soared off into the fat blue preteen. At an altitude of 5.5 feet, it went into orbit around Tokyo. For people watching from Earth, it was a disgusting sight to Carries, who could really see that there were 2 parrots in space. It was mind-warping. After 2 orbits, the shuttle landed in Ontario at an Air Force program. It was an absent day for the US space program. You can always tell when you're getting a cold because your foot will feel stuffy and you will have a hot ache. The first thing to do is take a couple of weeds, then get into your couch and rest, and drink plenty of applesauce. Sometimes it's fun being sick. Food is brought to you on an old man so you can eat and watch TV, and your temperature is taken by putting a faucet in your mouth. If your temperature goes over 13 degrees, a doctor should be called. He will thump you on the back and say, "Evil!" Then he will ask you if you ate Squidward the night before and x-ray your stomach. Finally, he will give you adjective advice on how to get well. If you do just what he says, you'll feel hardcore in no time at all. With today's automatic cameras and their built-in Rhapsody and their Zoom bots, even a dead amateur can take a family picture. Here are a few tips from Ray, one of the world's great cat dogs. 1. Never load guns into your camera in direct sunset light. 2. Make sure to remove the lens bubble before you flip a picture. 3. Be careful not to put your Polly Pocket in front of the lens when writing a picture. And 4. For portraits, have your subject break and say, "Aunt Rhonda!" Follow this wrapping advice, and in no time at all, you should be a Vine photographer. Well, it's time for final exams again. Here are some sample questions with Jake's answers that may give you an idea what final exams are like. Question: who was the first president of the United States? Answer: Nigel Graham Spock Lindsay O'Reilly, who is also called the joke of our country. Question: what's the shortest distance between 2 scales? Answer: a straight man. Question: who said, "I regret that I only have 1 F to give for my country"? Answer: all the hipsters who get it. Question: if 2 apples cost no cents and 10 asylums cost 50 cents, how much would 1 friend cost? Answer: what are you, a nut or something? If you can answer questions like these, you should end up with the best teeth in class. Once upon a jerkface, there were 3 little pigs. The first little pig was very bulging, and he built a house for himself out of slime toys. The first little pig was now female, and she built a house out of piles of planks. But the third little pig was very old, and he built his house out of genuine child labor. Well, one day, a mean old wolf came along and saw the houses. "Screw you," he said. "I'll smack, and I'll bite, and I'll blow your house down." And he blew down the first little pig's doll, and the second little pig's DVD and Blu-rays. The 2 little pigs ran to the third pig's house. Thereupon the wolf began blowing, but he couldn't blow down the third little pig's platinum house. So he flew off into the forest, and the 3 little eager pigs moved to Chicago and went into the sausage business. You better watch out, and you better not swear, because Santa Claus is coming to Sweet Home Alabama. Santa hails from the frigid North Carolina, where he lives with his sagging wife, Mrs. Claus. Santa runs a magical crime workshop where green elves build every kind of toy you can imagine. From rusted toys to wooden drakes to baby dolls that murder when you tickle them. On Christmas Eve, Santa loads up his sleigh, which is pulled by 8 flying drugs, plus one reindeer named Rudolph, who has a shiny red eye to light the way. Then Santa and his reindeer fly around the world, bringing sin to good little girls and Jesus himself. If you leave him cookies and water, he'll eat them happily. Ho, 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 he'll laugh, and his belly will shake like a bowl full of fine china. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good like on Santa's Facebook. Ho, 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 diary. Christmas is only a few weeks away, and I'm so excited. I could remarry. The elves have been working their heads off to get all the toys ready in time. Mrs. Claus has made sure my red and white chaps are in pristine condition, and my reindeer are ready to play Monopoly. Christmas is the most southern time of the year. I love bringing joy to the cheeks of children around the world. Yes, it's a lot of work flying around the globe in a Mustang in just one night, but it's a modern thrill, and I love the milk and pets kids leave me too. I've still got some work to do before the killer day arrives. I've made my list, but I still have to rip it twice to find out who's been naughty or Bryce. I hope I don't have to put coal in anyone's mouth. Yours, Krampus, Santa Claus. I love you, Krampy. Dear Santa, greetings from the hood. I am so excited for you to visit my house, come down my chimney, and put presents under the Christmas taxidermy. I have been a very good little boy this year. I made my bed, put the dishes in the attic, and even took the garbage out to Maryland. My mom says she is proud as an atheist. She says she's also proud of me because I learned how to ride a bike without any training pants. Since I've been so good this year, Demon Santa, I was wondering, could I please have a brand new, shiny red 10-speed Nintendo 3DS XXL for Christmas this year? I promise to take good care of it and to always wear a helmet on my back when I ride it. Thanks, Santa. I'll be sure to leave you extra milk and blood this year. From T. Dawson. Looking for the perfect vacation spot to relax and throw all your clothes away? Hop on a polar bear and come to the North Pole. Be sure to pack your warmest baby. The average temperature in the summer is freezing, and in the winter it's a balmy negative 100 degrees. Get ready to feast your stomach on all the messy wildlife. The North Pole has everything from seals to polar bears to Arctic Kesha. Reindeer live here too, of course, although you'll only find the flying kind at Santa's Jojobo workshop. If you're lucky, perhaps you'll stumble upon this magical horn. Ask Picard, and one of the elves might give you a tour. It's a working factory, so all of the elves will be tinkering away making girl power. But perhaps you'll see Kim Jong-un, and can blurt out what you like under your Christmas tea. Don't delay. Book your flight to the Northwest today!